Breaking news! Steelers training camp is getting people talking. I have a few things to share with you today, and they're important points that Omar Khan needs to pay attention to if he wants to make the playoffs or even the Super Bowl. I want to hear from you, fan. Do you believe the Steelers will make the playoffs this season? If so, hit that like button hard. If you've been a fan for more than 10 years, write something like, "Go, Steelers, my heart bleeds black and gold." Now for the story that's stirring up Steelers training camp. The Steelers just wrapped up one of the least eventful practices of training camp so far. It was described as dull, lacking energy. The kind of day even the most dedicated fans can struggle to find enthusiasm. But don't be fooled. Beneath the surface, some important changes are taking place in Latrobe. From injuries, positional battles, unexpected exceptional performances, to trade rumors that could reshape the team's offensive identity, a lot is happening. Let's begin with the injury situation. Calvin Austin, along with other key veterans like Joey Porter Jr. and Darnell Washington, were notably absent from practice. Now, some of those might be typical veteran rest days, but others are far more concerning. Specifically, the injuries to Calvin Anderson and Corey Trice have drawn serious attention. Anderson's sidelined with a soft tissue issue. Trice is once again battling a hamstring injury, another frustrating chapter in what's becoming an all-too-familiar story of unavailability for a player the Steelers had high hopes for. It's now fair to wonder whether Pittsburgh's patience is wearing thin. Meanwhile, the battle at left tackle is unraveling into a real dilemma. Calvin Anderson has struggled. Broderick Jones, shockingly, may have looked even worse. That's opened the door for Dylan Cook to step in and possibly emerge as the best left tackle on the roster right now. But get this, there's quiet chatter around Darnell Washington. Yes, the tight end. Some hints suggest conversations have taken place about a potential switch to tackle if this left tackle situation doesn't stabilize. That's how shaky the position has become. It's not set in stone, but the fact that it's even being discussed says everything. Speaking of unexpected turns, let's talk about a name that absolutely no one saw coming this strong into camp, Scotty Miller. He's not just outperforming expectations, he's outplaying everyone not named DK Metcalf in the wide receiver room. He's faster, more explosive, and catching everything in sight. Meanwhile, Roman Wilson and Robert Woods, who were expected to step into key roles, have been underwhelming. Wilson in particular is falling down the depth chart, struggling to get open even against second-string defenders. Miller's sudden rise has sparked real conversations inside the Steelers building. The truth is, Pittsburgh doesn't have a WR3 they trust right now. There's even speculation that Roman Wilson could be packaged in a trade if the Steelers decide to make a serious push for a top-tier wide receiver like Terry McLaurin. Yes, the Steelers have reached out to Washington. It's not a deal yet, but it's a signal. Pittsburgh knows it has a problem, and they're exploring every option to fix it. While the offense struggles to find its identity, the defense is absolutely cooking. James Pierre, once considered an afterthought, has picked off multiple passes and is locking down his side of the field. He's looking like a real contender for a 53-man roster spot, which only adds to the depth and strength of this already elite secondary. And let's not forget Jalen Ramsey. He's turning heads with a level of dominance that has even training camp veterans buzzing. Meanwhile, Caleb Johnson is quietly showing progress at running back. He's still raw, pass protection and receiving need major work, but he bounced back impressively in back-on-backers drills, even getting the better of Mark Robinson, the usual standout in those battles. He's still a project, but the improvement is worth noting. Now, let's bring it back to the big picture. The Steelers are dealing with real offensive uncertainty. The quarterback room hasn't stood out. The offensive line is shaky, and without a reliable WR2 or WR3, they're in danger of wasting what might be the best defense in the NFL. That's the concern, and that's why the front office is making calls, watching closely, and possibly preparing for bold moves. Now I want to hear from you. What's your take on this WR3 situation? Can Scotty Miller really be that guy? Should Roman Wilson be on the trade block? And what do you make of this buzz around Darnell Washington potentially switching to tackle? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. I've got more exclusive updates coming your way from Steelers training camp right here in Latrobe. Let's keep going because this next part might just be the most eye-opening update from Steelers training camp yet. And remember, everything I'm telling you is straight from what's happening at St. Vincent College. No rumors, no fluff, just real-time insight. Let's dive deeper into the wide receiver situation, because this is where things could take a dramatic turn for Pittsburgh. The Steelers' offense is visibly stuck. Outside of DK Metcalf, no one in the wide receiver core has consistently stepped up. Roman Wilson, the rookie who was expected to develop into a key contributor, is falling behind rapidly. He's losing reps, not because he's going up against elite defenders. He's mostly seeing second and third team coverage, but because he's simply not getting open. His route running isn't sharp enough, and right now, that's his biggest hurdle. And when you're not producing, you don't get the benefit of time. That's just how it works in Pittsburgh. This franchise is trying to win now, especially with the kind of defense they've built. That urgency is putting real pressure on the offensive side of the ball to catch up. And this brings us to a major development. The Steelers have officially reached out to the Washington Commanders to inquire about Terry McLaurin. It's not just a checking and call, it's a recognition that this offense needs help, and McLaurin could be that missing piece. He's a legitimate WR1, and pairing him with DK Metcalf would instantly transform this unit. The challenge? Cost. Not just in draft capital. Washington reportedly wants WR1 compensation, but in salary. He's looking for a payday that reflects his status, and rightly so. Would Pittsburgh bite? That's still unclear. But they have the cap space, approximately $23 million, and if McLaurin's willing to take a 2-year deal to set himself up for one last big contract later, the fit becomes much more feasible. In fact, one proposed package being floated among insiders includes Roman Wilson and a second-round pick for McLaurin. It's bold, it's aggressive, but it might be necessary if the Steelers are serious about making a deep postseason run. And let's not forget the wild card in all of this, Darnell Washington. Not only is he improving as a tight end, running cleaner routes, catching more consistently, but there's quiet talk that he could be moved to left tackle if the offensive line doesn't sort itself out. That's how much trust the staff has in his physical ability and versatility. That's also how concerned they are about the current state of the left side of the line. Let's talk about the tackle spot. Calvin Anderson has been rough. Broderick Jones, who should be dominating, just hasn't put it together. That's left Dylan Cook as the unexpected frontrunner at the position. And while Cook has had solid reps and flashes, relying on him as your starting left tackle is risky, especially with a 40-year-old quarterback behind center. It's why there's growing belief that the Steelers will look to sign a veteran tackle soon. A trade? Unlikely. Nobody's giving up a starting caliber tackle this late in the offseason. But a veteran free agent? Absolutely in play. And there's another layer to the offensive woes. Mason Rudolph. With Aaron Rodgers sitting out, Rudolph took top reps and looked awful. James Pierre picked him off more than once, and Mason struggled to move the offense at all. It's becoming clearer every day that the QB room behind Rodgers is a concern. Will Howard had 2 strong days, then looked shaky again. There's inconsistency across the board. Do they make the move for McLaurin? Do they pivot to someone like Chris Olave if the Saints implode financially? Will Darnell Washington be the next great Steelers tackle if the line continues to struggle? And how many more days can Roman Wilson stay quiet before the team starts looking elsewhere? That's what I want to hear from you about. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more Steelers updates straight from Latrobe. Smash that like button and stay tuned. We've got more breaking news on the way. Let's go Steelers Nation. This season is only getting started.